Hi, my name is Dave Milton and today we'll be looking at the probes. This will be the mag probes and the rack probes. So we'll be looking at the difference today between these probes. We'll be looking at the magnetic probe, how this differs to the more advanced rack drives. So we'll explain where you can use these and what applications they'll be used for. So we've got the probes laid on the table here. This is what we call the MLarva, which is the mag probe. Then we have the MLRD and the MLD, which is also a mag probe. And then we go on to the rack probes. This is the RLRP and the LRP. So first we're going to look at the MLarva, which is the magnetically coupled version. There's a set of magnets in the core housing here, and there's another set of magnets that sit on the rear of the internal shaft. This is the entry level, so this is really used where you do not require extreme accuracy for transfer, because when you get to the full extent of your travel here, you will have a slight bit of offset. Now this offset can be changed if you use a porter liner. This will allow you to readjust the position at the end of the shaft. When these are supplied at the front, these come with an adapter, and these adapters come in two sizes. They come in 6mm or a quarter, so this will do the imperial or metric market. Next in the range of magnetic drives is the MLD and the MLRD. The difference between these two is that the MLRD has an independent rotation which is controlled by the magnet. So the magnet not only gives you rotation, but it also gives you linear travel. These are used where you want much more accuracy because there is no droop on the shaft as this extends. This is because in this housing here is a core, and this core sits between these two flanges, and there's bearings at either end that support the inner linear shaft as it protrudes, so you don't get any offset as it moves out. So this is where you're going to need precise travel if you're loading a small sample or something onto a manipulator or heater within your main chamber. Now we're going to look at the top of our range, or the flagship version of the linear and rotary drives. The two we've got on the table, this one is the LRP, which is linear only, and this is the RLRP, which is linear and rotation. Again, the same as the MLRD, this has the independent shaft in the centre of the extension shaft. This is controlled by a little RD93 on the end to give you a rotation, and to give you your linear travel, you have an RD91 on the front, and this runs in a rack and pinion. You can see the rack here. The pinion sits on the end of the RD91 shaft inside. The real advantage of the LRP and the RLRP is the amount of control that you get with the linear and the rotation. This is much more controllable than a magnet just being pulled up and down on the outside of the shaft, because you can get, as you're moving it in a linear direction, you could be getting a bit of rotation as well. So if you've got a sample that's just sitting on like a puck transfer, you could tip it off and it could fall into the system. Well, this way it's controlled separately by the rotary drive at the end, which can be locked in position. So this can be locked, you travel in, you get close to where you're going to do, and then you can release the sample via the RD93 on the end. The other advantage of having rotary drives now is that you can actually motorise these. So on the front, this becomes a standard RD91 motorised, and we put the similar one of these onto the rear. So we replace the RD93 with an RD91 that's motorised. So the drives are absolutely standard drives. The shaft is just shortened for the positions it will be mounted into. This gives you very, very fine control now, so you can actually set an operation up that you want to do, and it will travel to its position and you can unload the sample. So it just gives you a lot more benefits over the other two drives that we've looked at. The other advantage of the RLRP and the MLRD is that you can fit a transfer end to this device and also have a latching mechanism. This can be for picking up flag type samples or pucks or whatever you like. We do a few versions, and these you can now see on the screen. So we'll just go through these again quickly now and explain the difference between these. The MLarva is where you don't need extreme accuracy. The MLD and MLRD are used where you need accuracy. The RL and the RLP are where you need extreme accuracy with control, and also gives you the option to motorise. So this was just a quick overview on the mag drives and the rack drives that we do. It just gives you an idea of what each drive will do and where you can use it. If you found this video interesting, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.